If you've just joined us, welcome to it. This is Heartline's Sheila Ndikumana keeping you company, and I'm with you all the way through to midnight in Central African time. I did say to you that if you are looking to step into the realms of entrepreneurship, then this is the conversation for you. However, I will say this. If you work, if you do anything that has to do with giving somebody access to a service, a product, then you want to listen to this conversation today on hashtag Pursuit of Purpose, or rather Pursuit to Purpose. We are diving deep into the future of entrepreneurship in Africa, but not just entrepreneurship as a career path. We're talking about entrepreneurial thinking as a surviving tool, a problem-solving engine, and a transformational life skill. Now, in the age of AI, automation, and growth economic instability, one thing has become crystal clear. Learning to think like an entrepreneur is no longer an option. It's essential for navigating today's uncertainties and creating your own opportunities. Now, with us today, we have two exceptional guests, but we will start off with our very first, a top 50 global thought leader on startups and careers, Startup Mentor of the Year, and international speaker on entrepreneurial thinking, from helping unemployed people in townships, building profitable businesses in just 5 weeks without any external funding, to teaching corporate teams how to make innovative and innovation part of their organizational DNA. His name is Willem Gous, and he joins us in studio. Good evening. Welcome to Heartlines.
Good evening, Sheila. Thank you for having me, and good evening to everybody tuning in tonight.
Willem, you know, I've read through your bio. I've seen the miraculous work you've done, and my brain keeps on thinking, what are you eating that we're not eating? How? Where did this all start?
You know, Sheila, I'm glad you start that way.
Yeah.
I am not the magic. The people are. All that I bring is I wake you up.
Yeah.
So if you look at typical entrepreneurship that they teach, business modeling, forecasting, business planning, that has nothing to do with entrepreneurship.
Sure.
That is management education. That's all. It's a management tool that an entrepreneur can choose to use or not use.
Yeah.
Design thinking is something that I can use. I choose that. The important thing is entrepreneurship development is the development of the human being and the business. Because I have a famous photo that I use of a guy who is angry at some car manufacturer, and he has his fancy SUV, and he has a donkey towing it. And that's exactly what people do, is they focus so much on the business, like on the SUV, but they don't develop the engine. And you have to develop the two together in order for it to work.
Which part of us is the engine?
You know, it's your thinking. I steer away from the term mindset because it's so fluffy. What is it? What there? But entrepreneurial thinking is about being resourceful, adaptable, and having your own internal locus of control. To say, well, I will go forward. I take responsibility for this.
Yeah.
And that's the shift that we bring into people. And that's why my work is almost irreversible, because I change you. I don't teach you something, I change you into something. And that's different.
Let's get into that.
Yes.
You change Sheila. Let's use Sheila as the subject matter. When you say change, for me, what I would process is that there's something that needs to be introduced externally in order for a gear to shift. But it doesn't sound like that's what you're describing. Okay.
No.
Okay.
So let's say we take a normal, round, long, tall glass. And if I hold it straight up to you, and you had to draw it, you would draw a rectangle. But if you were looking at it from the bottom up, you would draw a circle.
Yeah.
Are we looking at the same thing? Absolutely. Are we seeing two different things? That's it. Sheila, it's not that you don't know what to do. I always start when I speak in townships. I ask people, raise your hand if you're here for business information. And then everybody's hands go up and said, you're in the wrong class.
Oh.
Because if information was what was missing, YouTube and the internet would have unlocked human potential 20 years ago. And I would argue it has made us more stupid than any before. I mean, the videos that people send me, I question sometimes my friendships. And so information is not the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is the perspective that people have. And the perspective that I have found that has been inculcated throughout Africa is this learned helplessness. So learned helplessness is a psychology term, and to describe it in a simple term, back in the day when I was young, circuses still had animals. Now they turned us into the animals, which is nicer. You know, I think we bounce much better and everything else. But when they bought a new baby elephant, they tied a rope to its leg and the rope to a peg in the ground, and it couldn't escape. But they used that same rope and peg when it was an adult elephant. It can simply lift its leg and leave. But it doesn't, because it has learned that it is helpless. And the learned helplessness that we face in Africa and other developing economies is our belief that you need to have a business plan, funding, and access to market to start a business. And that is the biggest lie on earth. And that's just a perspective. It's not the truth. It's just a perspective. And people sit in my class and they say, I've been waiting for funding for 6, 7, 8 years. And now you tell me in 30 minutes that I could have started 8 years ago? Yes. You could have.
You know, I want to get into what do you need for a business. However, I do think we'll stray away from the concept of changing one's thinking patterns, right? You made such a beautiful analogy with the elephant and just lifting your leg and walking away. What have, outside this helplessness, for those who have stepped into business and have proven to make some kind of success of it, where is their state? Because if we are all in this thinking of we can't do this without A, B, C, what have those learned that's a step further from us who are perhaps even struggling to start?
I'm going to share something with you that I share with everybody.
Yeah.
We're all in the same path, which is at different stages of it.
Yeah.
And the same problems that you face when you begin, you face when the business grows, and you face again when the business grows. Like my one mentor said, it's easy to build a business that makes 5 or 6 million, but your thinking has to shift in 15 million. He says, and his thinking had to change again when his business hit 50 million, and then at 100 and 200 and 300 and 400. Because, to give you an example, Magwenya, the typical of fat cakes, and then this person sells Magwenya, and they want to make 100,000 rand.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, let's say you make 1 rand profit per Magwenya. So you need to sell 100,000 Magwenya. And suddenly you see they try to fill their head with 100,000 Magwenya, and they go, poof. Okay? Because they create value in 1 rand increments. So in US dollars terms, 5 cents.
Yikes. You just did that.
I just did that.
Wow.
No. Sorry. Yeah, that's 5 cents. And that's where they go. So we had a guy in the class. He started week 1 selling sweets, week 2 selling Magwenya, week 3 selling plates of food. That's how he increased the value of what he was selling.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand, entrepreneurship is 10% business and 90% personal development. Your business is a manifestation of your thinking.
Yeah.
If your business is stinking, it's because of stinking thinking. Why is the business not performing? Because of your thinking who guided your actions, and that's the results that you're getting. It's not the market, it's not the president, it's not this, it's you. And how do you need to change your thinking? So if something's not working, most people look out the window to point to somebody to blame. The difficult thing is to look in the mirror and ask yourself, how did I help to create this? And that's a difficult thing.
Sure. You said you mentioned stinking thinking, and that kind of stuck with me.
Oh, okay.
What do we need to change? What exactly is it that we're thinking about that's creating this odor that's polluting our businesses? Is it self? Is it environment? Because one could argue the economy is bad. I don't have access to market. I don't have access to funding. And these are constraints that one can sort of tangibly see in society. And so I want to gauge the perspective. Is it just about how Sheila thinks about Sheila? Or is it about how Sheila perceives the world as well?
Yes, absolutely. Everything stems from you.
Yeah.
It starts with your perspective, how you see yourself. If you don't see yourself as worthy, and I stand in front of a client and go like, hi, would you please buy my product? They're not going to believe you. So if you don't believe in yourself, they're not going to believe in you. And second of all is your perspective of the world. So Sheila, yes, economy is tough at the moment.
Yeah.
Is there less money in the economy? No. It's the same amount of money still available in the economy. Yes. You just need to find a new way to unlock that.
Yeah.
Are some people making a lot of money in this economy? They are printing cash. Are some people suffering? And that's the thing is, somebody spoke about the 2008 housing crash, financial crash that happened in 2008. So the housing market collapsed. Did the need for housing diminish? Did it change? Did it get less? No. The same amount of people still wanted houses.
Yeah.
But the form in which it was, the form that it was in, was a new house. Now you have to ask yourself, what's the new form? That could be shared living, that could be rentals, that could be apartments, and that could be a different. So always pay attention to what it is shifting to.
The voice of Willem Gous. He is an entrepreneurial thinking expert, and he joins us here in studio. We are shifting the way we think so that we can prosper in business. Willem, let's talk about this communication with self, right? Self-perspective. I find that sometimes we have so much, if you will, hype on social media about self-love. And I love myself. Oh, and I'm going to say all these powerful things to myself. I will manifest. I knew you were going to laugh. I will manifest this. I will manifest that. And we think we are on this path to respecting, appreciating, and really seeing ourselves for who we are. What's wrong with that train of thought?
So, number one, your subconscious laughs when you say that. You're like, yeah, you say, I'm good enough, I'm powerful. And your subconscious go like, no, you're not. It's not.
Yikes. Oh my gosh.
I think most people have an abusive relationship with themselves. Ooh. Would you say to your closest friends the things that you say to yourself? Would you say to a child the things that you say to yourself? Most people won't. They're like, that child will grow up to be not good.
Sure.
But yet we speak to ourselves in that way. So first, self-love is one of the most difficult things. I always ask people, when you get home, walk to your bathroom, stand in front of the mirror and say your name.
Yeah.
Look yourself in the eye, say your name and say, I love you. Most people can't do that. Okay? And that's normal.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people are in bad relationships, because the relationship that they have with that person is heaven compared to the relationship that they have with themselves. That hurt. That you felt that one.
Oh my goodness.
And that's the thing is it's about becoming. I always tell people entrepreneurs need two things: awareness and control. Your awareness leads to, okay, this is happening. I'm creating this. How do I shift this? And then I exert control. And then you see what happens, and you go through that cycle the whole time.
Yeah.
That's why entrepreneurial thinking is such a critical life and work skill. It's not just for startups. People who go through my program will come back and say, My business is working. I have money. My relationship with my husband and wife has never been better, and my relationship with my kids has never been better.
Yeah.
Because it's about the development and growth of the person and the awareness of the person. So you have to ask yourself, if you're sitting now listening to like, this guy's lying, ask yourself, if you say, I need this and this and this, is it true? And if you go, okay, that's fine. Economy is bad, you're not getting this, you're not getting that. Okay, do you want to be right or do you want to be rich? Make a decision. Because the rich person might go, how might we overcome this?
Yeah.
You need to be like water.
Sure.
If you block water, what does it do? It goes over, under, left or right. But what do most people do? They just stand there and go, I can't do anything. So that's what's holding us back. It's purely our own perspective and our own resistance to being honest and truthful with ourselves and to ourselves.
Willem, I want to start there, right? Sometimes we have seen forms of success without really having a good relationship with ourselves.
Yes.
Let's talk about that pseudo state of success, right? Where one is, you're thriving in business, right? Because you have managed to find a glitch in the system and you're manipulating it to your favor, right? Your family, you don't communicate much. So there isn't necessarily much argument, but there isn't conversation, right? And that feels like peace because there's silence. Your friends note you for the person who will buy the drinks, who will pay for the bills. So everybody's happy with you. Yet there's this deep intrinsic emptiness that you feel. And so I want us to address that for somebody who says, but I am successful, but still feels that thing and does not want to admit it. Let's talk to that.
Well, it can come from two perspectives.
Yeah.
Okay. The first one is you will feel that emptiness when you work towards success to show them. To show them that I can. I will show the world.
Yeah.
You can never fill that hole because that's an external hole. I can't control how you feel about me. I can never. So how will my success now suddenly change anything? So that's the one perspective. The other perspective that I see a lot is very successful people not believing in themselves.
Okay.
And they still going, I don't believe in my work. And they have a solid body of work. And they go, I don't believe in my work. And they still work to better it. And that's a similar thing. In those cases, you're running on a negative energy. So you're running on dirty fuel.
One could argue, but you're still running.
You're still running, but it's dirty, and it's not good for the system. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you want something clean. And it's about, I'm not a big fan of the word passion, because it means suffering. Look at that movie. It wasn't the crucifixion of Christ. The movie was titled the Passion of Christ. It was not like, woo! No, it was so.
Yeah.
And passion means to suffer. And we need to look at, okay, cool. You have to understand, I'm a big fan of the yin and the yang. There's always balance. In everything in nature, there's balance.
Yeah.
So these people are like, no, I'm just going to have fun. No, it's going to be a lot of suck, balanced out by a lot of good. I think it was Biggie Smalls who said, "Mo money, mo problems." And most people read it in a negative thing, but if you want to make more money, you need to address more problems. So it's your choice. If you want more money, you need to be able to handle more problems.
Yeah.
So tip my hat to Biggie, but I think most people misunderstand that line.
I think that's a perspective thing, like you said. Is that 99% of us are thinking, I don't want to deal with problems. I'm making money to not have problems.
Ooh. But here's the thing, Sheila, I could not have set this up better.
Yeah.
Most people want a simple life.
Yeah.
But if you aim for simplicity, complexity will follow. If you aim for complexity, simplicity will follow. Let me explain.
Yes.
When I aim for a simple life and I consistently avoid the difficult things, my ability and capability to deal with problems diminishes. And as life grows, as it does, your life becomes infinitely complex. But if you consistently strive to do the most difficult, challenging things, your ability and capability to handle challenges and problems increases exponentially, and your life becomes infinitely simple. So it's paradoxical.
Absolutely. The voice of Willem Gous joining us this evening. He is an entrepreneurial thinking expert, and we are in class. Listen, class is in session, Entrepreneurship 101. It's not about creating a flow chart, having a business idea. We're first starting with you. If you want to send through your questions, find us on +27 6340 69126.
Headlines with Sheila Ndikumana brings you conversations that touch the soul on Channel Africa.
It is a minute before 11 p.m. Central African time. If you have just joined us, welcome to it. Entrepreneurship 101 is the focus. And listen, this class is different. I'll have you know, if you're thinking, I understand the context of entrepreneurship. I've done this thing before. You know, this is part and parcel of my daily bread. No. Willem Gous joins us in studio. He is an entrepreneurial thinking expert, and we were meant to be joined by Hetty. And she, of course, was going to contribute to the relevant platform of digital monetization. And she is, of course, an expert in that field. However, we cannot get a hold of her. She seems to be having electrical problems. And so we'll continue the conversation with Willem this evening. I have a statement here, and this is by a Thabo Monoko, who says positive posture in economics is relative. The context or the desire to stay all smiles is relative. Doesn't necessarily, if you are in a good space with self, it doesn't mean that you will thrive in business, I think, is my interpretation of the statement.
That is a very high level. I don't know, I'm still trying to unpack that type of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of fake it till you make it.
Okay.
And I think that ties in with that type of thing. You have everything in you. It's just, it's about developing that. So, because I see that a lot with when I work with the youth. They go, look, I'm this. And they're like, really, dude? And you just ask them one or two questions, and then the house of cards falls apart.
Yeah.
It's just being authentic and being open and honest. I was talking, so I'm expanding my coaching business internationally because I can charge way more money there. I love that. And I said to the one guy, you know what, there is something in me, a fear in me. I'm talking to a potential client. I'm saying to him, I have fear in me that you sitting in the United Kingdom might think to yourself, like, what can this guy from Africa teach me?
Yeah.
And he said, wow, yeah, that's actually a very interesting point. But no, I have nothing like that going on in me. There might be somebody somewhere that might think it. And I said, thank you very much. And he was very happy that I openly shared that with him.
Yeah.
And it boils down to, again, relationships. Relationship with yourself and they. Just read the question to me again, because I think I'm trailing off a little bit.
The statement was that a happy posture, or if I am to get that, I'm sifting through very many conversations that are taking place here on TikTok. If you've just joined us, welcome to it. This is Heartlines, Sheila Ndikumana keeping you company. And of course, joining us in studio is Willem Gous, who is an entrepreneurial thinking expert. Send through your questions. Find us on WhatsApp +27 6340 691 126. So I'm going to paraphrase, and it was something to the effect of a positive posture in economics is relative.
Posture, yes. Economics, that throws me off. But posture, yes. Have you noticed that when you feel sad, your posture sags?
Yes.
And then change your posture and you will feel your emotion shift. It works both ways. Yes. So when you're not feeling good, having a positive posture changes everything. And there's no right or wrong posture. There's just the next posture.
Which then brings me to the question around happiness. You said you do not. One ought to be authentic. Let me stick to the positive. One ought to be authentic in their journey. There will be trials, but your mindset is the most, I suppose, the way you think is the most important thing, not necessarily the state of things around you. However, we have been encultured to think that if I am acting happy, I will change the state of what's happening around me. And I think that that's the default that we run to, as opposed to confronting it and viewing it from a different lens to appreciate what's going on. We often want to superimpose this happiness. Like, it's going to work out. It's going to be okay. And someone might not feel like they're faking it, but they honestly do believe that they're changing their mindset. And so how would you speak to that?
Yeah, that ties very much in with this whole manifestation thing. If you only think about it, you will get it. And Sheila, if you and I sit here and just consistently think about having a nice Range Rover in our garage, will we get one? No. Okay.
No. Yeah.
So it's what people misunderstand about that thinking is you really have to get honest with yourself and go address that. And it's not simply changing the thinking, it's changing the being. Who am I? A great exercise, and I suggest everybody in the audience, take a piece of paper and just take some quiet time and start writing on that piece of paper, I am. And then you write the next sentence, I am this, I am, and see where it leads. It's fascinating what you reveal and go like, I am this, I am that, and then you really start seeing what's underneath, and then you can start changing those things. It's a slow and difficult process. Have you ever tried to change somebody else?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
No.
Okay. And now I'm asking you to change yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a hard and difficult process, because to tie in with your previous question about, but it's hard and everything else. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So yes, that's why you get paid the big bucks. The bigger the solutions you do, the bigger the challenges you face, the bigger the money you make. To quote Biggie Smalls again, more money, more problems.
We see you. There is something about facing trial within yourself that we mostly run away from. Why do you think that's the case? What is it about confronting Sheila that makes me jet off into the sunset?
Okay, Sheila, what are you not? So you drive. Okay, do you drive like a typical minibus taxi driver? Really? That's not you. So you've never stopped somewhere where you shouldn't. You've never been very close to somebody, never hooted, never drove wrong, anything else?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We are just like them.
Okay.
And the thing is, if you listen to, we disown so many parts of ourselves. I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not that. And when you disown it, it means I'm shameful of that, and I'm shameful of that. And once you remove that, go like, I'm not shameful of that. I am that. Then it's okay.
Yeah.
That's why taxis don't stop in front of me, because I'm just like you, and they go like, hey, Aslam, that's fine. Because life will draw into your life that which the lessons that you need to learn. So as long as you disown the inner taxi driver and they're going to frustrate you. They don't frustrate me, because I'm one of them. And look at the judgment that we have. We usually judge in others what we judge in ourselves.
Sure.
Have you noticed that?
Yep.
Pay close attention how much we judge on a daily basis. You walk from here out and you see like, oh, idiot this. Oh, really? You did that? You said that? Oh, I'm shameful. Because you're ashamed of yourself, not necessarily them. They're just a manifestation of it. That's why, as a professional international speaker, if somebody gets really triggered in my audience, and I've had people really get triggered at me, and I know it's not me. I'm simply representing something that they don't want to see in themselves at the moment.
Sure. I want us to continuously get back to tying this with entrepreneurship, right?
Yes.
Because the further we go into having this conversation with self-accepting parts of ourselves that we don't want to, it almost feels like, but how's that going to help me in entrepreneurship?
Very good question.
Yes.
So when I've had 4 businesses that fail,
Okay.
I caused that.
Okay.
Okay? I own my part in that. I know the elements that I did that led to its failure. I own all of those mistakes, and that's the important thing. Once you own it, if I say, yeah, but I didn't cause the failure, it was because of this or this. It was my partner who stole money. Okay, no, hang on. What did you do? You did not set boundaries. You did not have contracts in place. You did not have the difficult conversation. Why not? Because both of you were probably drunk on opportunity. And you didn't have that hard conversation. And that's where it comes back to entrepreneurship, to go, okay, that's why that happened. Because how many people have said to you, I will never get into a partnership again? Because they blame the other person. And they don't look at how they contributed 50% to that. They allowed that. And that's where it ties into entrepreneurship, is to go, okay, cool. It's my thinking and actions that led to the breakdown of this partnership and me losing $200,000. Okay, I learned that. Now when I do a partnership again, I will make sure that the following things are in place. And then you don't have that problem.
Let's talk about a healthy state of thinking. And say, for instance, example, somebody who says, I'm willing to go through the fight. I'm willing to look at myself, answer the difficult questions, go through the motions. However, I am discouraged because this new age technology space does not speak to what I want to offer as a business, right? Because I am working on myself for my own profit. But at the end of the day, I'm hoping to step in as an entrepreneur. And I'm hearing that in the next 5 years, the offering I want to put down is probably not going to be relevant. How does me developing in character and in thinking allow me to then critically analyze what is needed in society?
That's good. It's about letting go.
Okay.
Breaking up with your business. It's just a business.
Okay.
How many times have you fallen in love? A few times.
Yes, sir.
Yes. But for some reason, we think we can only fall in love once with a business. And if that doesn't work, we're a bad business person.
Yeah.
Just get another one. Just break up with it. It may not be the business for now. And that's why entrepreneurial thinking in this current, disrupted, fast-changing world is so critical. Because now you realize you've been working at something for 3 years, and then one morning you wake up and go like, okay, it's been automated. So how do I adapt to that? How do I find a new path forward within this environment? Because what I always tell people when they complain about the industry that they're in, I said, excuse me, this is the horse you chose to ride. If you don't like it, get off. Go, get on another horse. And that gets in, okay, so this happened. How might I now change things? How might I adapt to this? Instead of being the victim of my circumstance, I become the designer of my future.
Sure.
And that's where the entrepreneurial thinking comes in.
Willem, some people are scared. And I'll say this as somebody who has thought about entrepreneurship. When you think of moving from one industry into another, you think joblessness, no pay, oh my goodness, introduction of poverty. Again, I want to stray away from that. Where are we to place our faith that the process is good for us? Because when you say change position, change posture, it feels like you're saying start over, and start over means R0, $0, zero pula.
Not necessarily. You know, the fear is there.
Yeah.
I'm an international professional speaker. I will not get on stage if I'm not nervous. Because that nervousness keeps me honest and respectful to my audience.
Yeah.
So that's there, and you can't deny it. It is a scary thing, but take actions within your framework of risk and fear. But you still need to step into that tension. Always tell the story of you had a crush on somebody, and then you walk in a mall, and you've had a crush on this person for 2 months, and you're so in love with them, but you've never spoken to them, and then you walk past them in a shopping mall and you make eye contact. What's the first thing people do? They look away.
Yes.
Because they can't take the tension.
Yeah.
And it's about stepping into that tension consistently. It's not stepping into panic. It's stepping into... Some people will make big strides. Some people need to take smaller steps, and that's okay.
Yeah.
To start small, start slow.
Yeah.
I always tell people, what people forget is I need to drop everything and start a business. No, you don't have to. That's why I'm a big fan of a side hustle. And in my book, I write about that. If you spend 2 hours a day on your business, two hours, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening, and you do that 7 days a week, Sheila, over 365 days, that is equivalent to 91 8-hour working days. Let me say that again. 91 8-hour working days. That's like you going to the office in a normal 5-day work week for 4 months just to work on your business. That's 2 hours a day. Most people watch 3 to 4 hours of YouTube a day, and they go like, I don't know why I don't have money. Yes, CP, where you don't have money because you just sit and watch videos the whole day and don't do actions that move you towards your business. And do 2 hours sound like a lot? No. You take 1 hour every morning to reach out and go like, hey, this is a service I do. Marketing, sales, marketing, sales, marketing, sales. And then in the evening you deliver, depending on what business you have. But start small. You don't have to go big. People think, I need this big business. No, you don't. You need to start small. I just had it in an incubation camp. This lady wanted a fashion brand.
Okay.
So she started a small kitchen thing on the side to get extra cash in. She's forgotten about the fashion thing because this thing in a few weeks is doing $10,000 profit a week.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, what fashion thing? I'm going to play there.
Well, you just spoke about an incubator. You have helped countless people sort of reshape their thinking to step into the realms of entrepreneurship and sort of find success. However, according to stats, some 50.2% of South Africans aged between 15 and 34 are unemployed. And my question is, on what scale can we begin a conversation to address that kind of unemployment? What will it take for us to change these minds? Because these are young people. 15 to 34 is very young.
And that's most of the people that I work with.
Yeah.
So Sheila, yes, a thing, and it's and I'm glad you're bringing this up. By 2030, 45% of the world's youth will be in Africa. 45% of the world's global youth will be in Africa.
Yeah.
So this is a problem that we need to fix. And that's why I started teaching now entrepreneurial thinking as a life and work skill in schools, universities, communities, and businesses. I am the future of human adaptability.
Okay.
The work that I do now is the most important work of my life. And the nice thing is, if you look at entrepreneurial thinking, you can teach. If you take my programs and my thinking model and everything through, I can teach somebody to think like an entrepreneur in an hour. And I can give them a model that they can apply when they have a breakup, when they go through stress, when they struggle with their marks at school or university, or they struggle with something at work, or their work team suffers with something. You can even use it with your partner. Go like, how do we improve our relationship? And you can use entrepreneurial thinking there as well. So that's my mission, is to have 100 million people go through entrepreneurial thinking in the next 5 years.
Willem, you can't give us this kind of information and not expect us to get a taste, right? An hour is not what we have, unfortunately. We don't have time for an hour, but you can give us a snippet
Yes, I
of
can.
the process.
So the 5 core principles of entrepreneurial thinking.
Yeah.
The first one is agency. Agency means internal locus of control. I make decisions and I can change things. I'm in control of my life. Most people say, I am not. No, you have to, it's a decision. It's not the reality. It's a decision you make. And then another one is flowability.
Okay.
What can you do now? And that's where that be like water principle is the simplest explanation about that. Then you look at adaptability. What do I need to start doing? What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to do differently? Then you look at bounce back ability.
Say that slowly, please.
Bounce back ability. Sounds fun.
Yes.
Sounds better than resilience.
Yes, it does. Yes.
And that's, what do I need to accept? What do I need to let go of? But what do I need to reframe? And then you get to resourceability. Because have you ever seen a child play with Lego blocks, these plastic building blocks?
Yes.
And go, Auntie Sheila, do you have the instructions? Will they ever ask you that? No. They'll just build a house, then a rocket ship and everything else. But as adults, we sit there, look at all the resources we have in a city, and they're like, I have nothing. So it's about, I have a specific framework there to unlock the inner Lego playing child in you. And I've tested this work from townships, in schools, into corporate teams, and it works every time.
Question, is the resourceability the business idea that we then come with?
No, not necessarily, because most people feel I don't have agency. I can't move forward. I'm stuck. I'm there. And then you go through I have a specific thinking model. You go through the 4 areas of that. And then you realize, oh, I can move forward.
Okay.
Or if you already go, I'm going to go there, then you use the same framework to go there faster. Sheila, it's not about having the answers. It's about having a way to adapt to a changing, ever faster changing future.
Sure. I want us to address those listening, those watching on YouTube as well. We've heard the conversation. We're stung, we're hurt, we're confused, we're perplexed. We want to see this change, right? And of course, we're going to make sure that we get in touch with Willem after this conversation. However, I want to start with this context of Sheila and me looking at Sheila, me looking at self, me actually taking account of who self is. Where do I begin with that?
Great. Look at the results that you want to achieve in life.
Okay.
Okay. And ask yourself, whom do I need to become? How do I need to think? So if you want $1 million cash in the bank,
Yeah.
and there's a guy next to you with $1 million cash in the bank, and I give both of you $100, how will you treat that $100? What do most people go, let's go and spend it. And then you look at how they think and handle that money. So you need to become like that person. It's to have something different, you have to become someone different. So look at the results you got, the thinking that led to the actions that gave you the results. And then you ask yourself, how do I need to change my thinking?
And is this change intrinsic? We kept on saying that everything is within you. You don't teach people new things. You just change the way they think.
And they become self-aware.
So all of this is within me. We're just unlocking.
I just unlock. I'm not the magic. I am truly not the magic.
Willem, let's talk about some of your success stories. For somebody who's listening, they're like, yeah, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah,
Where
I
is
like
the pudding?
Who doesn't like the pudding? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So let's start it with something very basic. In the one township, we had this lady. She has a bakery. She does scones and biscuits. She doesn't have an oven.
Okay.
But she has a bakery.
Okay.
How so? So the first thing, most people go, oh, we need funding to get premises and industrial oven. Now, you know what you need? It's a phone. Pick up the phone and go like, Kazlam, do you have an oven? Can I bake at your house? No. Okay, cool. Can I bake at somebody else's house? Yeah. You know somebody? Okay, cool. So they took the ingredients, walked to their sister's house, baked, took the taxi to the rank, sold stock. And that's how they started the business. Had another person. So and this is a very important way to see the thinking. See, that person had a perspective of they played Lego. What can I have? Then I had another person, they rented tents for people to have birthday parties at their houses.
Okay.
They had one tent. And every second weekend it was rented out. Okay. At the end of a 5-week program, she was running 3 tents. Every tent fully rented every day of the weekend. And she owned only 1 tent. How so? They went to the competitor and said, I see you don't have customers. How much to rent your tent? I said, $200. They rented out at $750. And then they brought other services on top of that, on top of that, on top of that. Those are the simplest of things. And it's simply a change in perspective.
Sure.
I had in this university cohort that I have, and this one person has a services business. And I said, due to my thinking, my business has grown more in the past 3 weeks than the previous 3 years.
Okay.
Because now they started stepping into tension and looking at how their decision making led to the results that they got. And there's countless, even with the financial advisors, and that's one of the most difficult industries to do.
Okay.
It's a tough industry. And close to 70% of them fall out of the industry in the first 2 years. And I helped financial advisors through my program. I made it a bit longer, so it includes multiple sales cycles. But I followed up a year later. 12 months after the training started, and the training was only for 13 weeks. And low touch. I saw them for 90 minutes every week, and then a 30-minute phone call every week. That's all. On average, they increased their income between 60 and 200%. Yes. The one person went from sitting in my class saying very bad words to me. This is BS. You're wasting my time. I don't want to be here. I go like, hold my coffee. I'm going to make you wealthy. To being the top performer in their province, and now in their second year being in the top 100 nationally. And that is what thinking does. And that's what you can do with a sales team. This is what you can do with your operations teams. The work that I do, is I don't teach people to fish, Sheila. There's so many programs out there teaching people to fish. But nobody's fishing, have you noticed? They're sitting at home and like, I want funding. Okay. I don't teach people to fish. I make fishermen.
Okay.
And that's what I do. I am the future of human adaptability. With this work, we will unlock the potential of Africa. And we can do that en masse.
Willem Gous, everybody, joining us this evening. There is a comment that I want you to address. Maybe, maybe not.
Oh, I love it.
The other one maybe should stay away from tenders. One of the pointers is maybe, just maybe people should stay away or stop thinking that tenders are their saving grace. Thoughts?
Perfect. Love that. Thank you to that person who asked that question. So in my one group, had this person who always, they were building a business on tenders. And it was, I refer to it as a 2-minute noodle and champagne cycle. You have money, you buy Moet and Chandon and go, let's drink champagne. And then 2 months later, you have no money and you eat 2-minute noodles for 3 months. And that's that inconsistent cycle. And I said, okay, let's drop that. You want to eat whale the whole time. You need to have a balanced diet between whale and sardine. And now they started doing work every week. Now they're having multiple clients every week, smaller clients, but the business is growing like it never has. And now they can still pay attention to the tenders, and if it comes off, it's the cherry on top. But now they have a consistent business that is consistently growing. They have money in the bank, and they have stability and security in their life.
And no more 2-minute noodles, I suppose.
Yeah, especially the 3 cheeses flavor. That is like old army boots. And that's the thing is, and also you don't have the cash flow to cover those things. What if they pay late? Then you're done for. I've spoken to people who just want to do business with corporates, and they're like, have you looked at their payment criteria? They pay 120 days. 120, but still every week you must supply them. So you need at least 180 days of cash flow. You're not at that level. So learn to crawl just like a baby, then learn to walk, and then learn to run, and then later, when you're old enough, you can have babies and everything else that goes with it. And that's the tenders. But don't be a 7-year-old who wants babies in a family. Okay? Don't do that. That's dangerous.
The voice of top 50 global thought leader on startups and careers, startup mentor of the year, and an international speaker and author. And of course, his is entrepreneurial thinking, from helping unemployed people in townships build profitable business in just 5 weeks without any external funding, to teaching corporate teams on how to make innovation part of their organizational DNA. My name is Willem Gous, and this is how we wrap up the conversation.
Hotlines. Taking you into the night with love stories, fresh music, and inspiring voices from across Africa.